Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and in this video here I'm going to be talking to you about grog production and making money with grog in Kenshi. So first, in order to make grog, you're going to need to research grog distillation at the research bench. So if you are just starting out in the game and you don't know much about how researching all of that stuff works, in the bottom right hand corner you'll see a little hammer and nail icon, which you just see me click on, and it basically brings up this building screen here. You won't have much in the screen at first, but you will be able to unlock more. The first thing you need to do is build a small research bench, and then you can research new tech levels and stuff from there, and then you can make a research bench level 2, and then basically build up from there. In order to make grog, the two main things you're going to need are wheat straw farming, because you need the reagents to make the grog, and grog distillation, because that's how you make the grog. And once you reach that point, you're going to make this machine here, a grog machine. And you're also going to have to make these barrels around the grog machine that you see, because these barrels are going to hold your grog. If you want your characters to work fully automated, then you're definitely going to have to make these barrels, because otherwise they'll just like break after they make 5 and the output gets full, because they'll have nowhere to put that output. Another thing that's worth mentioning is keep in mind that grog is some of the highest, it consumes the most reagents of almost any alcohol. In order to make a single grog, you're going to need 20 wheat straw. So you're going to need a very, very good wheat straw production in order to make grog for money. Another thing that's worth mentioning too is wheat straw is also used for other things, such as like food cubes. You can turn wheat straw into bread and then use the bread to make food cubes, and arguably that is a better ratio for wheat straw for money making than doing this. However, it's going to be a bit more tedious in order to do it that way, because in order to make the food cubes, you're going to need to grind the wheat straw into flour, then which is going to take grain silos, which if you're not automated yet, then you're going to have a character run the grain silo 24/7. Also, you're going to have to bake the flour after you make it, which is also going to require a character to do the bread ovens. And then you're going to have to turn it into food cubes. So it's like multiple steps, which will essentially slow down the entire process and cause you to make less money overall, but more money for the reagent cost, if that makes sense. I personally, or I shouldn't say less money overall, I should say, it causes you to make less money per time invested, but more money for the resource cost, if that makes sense. Essentially, making the food cubes is going to take longer. It comes with the added benefit too, though, of if you don't sell them, you can just eat them, which is always nice. But that's just something to keep in mind. Now, as far as selling the grog goes, this is where things get a bit interesting. Unlike cactus rum, unlike sake, unlike what are the other ones? They're blank, and my mind is going blank when I'm trying to think of the other ones. Basically, every alcohol has a markup or markdown depending on where you're selling it. So let's look at the map here real fast. So over in the swamp right here, if you wanted to sell cactus rum in the swamp, it'll sell for 25% more than other locations, because you can't grow cactuses in the swamp. Now, if you try to sell sake in the swamp, it'll sell for 25% less, because that's where it's made. But if you go down, say, to Clownsteady, or if you go down to Drifter's Last and you try to sell the sake there, it should sell for more, because that's not a native region to where the sake is being produced at. So grog is a little bit different than all of these alcohols, because grog doesn't have a good price markup or price down anywhere you go. And I've actually spaced out my characters a bit to show you this. So here's Almar in Squin, and I'm going to show you the bar vendor in Squin right here. So you can see this bar vendor has 104% price markup on grog, which is not too shabby. It's in my opinion, if you find it 105% or above, usually it's better to make grog than the other alcohols. And let's show you this character who is in Shark. I love when I run under the building and then it teleports me inside. Let's see. So grog is only 98% here, which I wouldn't actually recommend you sell grog at this location, because it's too low. I think Chadia, he's at Mudtown. So let's check the Mudtown sell price. So 101% in Mudtown. It's kind of close to what it is in Squin, although it's not quite as high as it was in Squin. We have other characters in Morn. So let me take some of my grog out of my pack meals inventory. Where are the vendors here? Vendor over here, so we'll go to this vendor. This one's a tech hunter shop. It's still loading the environment, so I got to keep like backing up with my camera so it doesn't auto pause. So Grog and Morn only sells for 97% price markup, which is not good. So basically, the place that I would sell my grog right now is Squin, and we can see that this the great white gorilla that you fight upstairs, I accidentally lit him out of his cage, and he's just been going rampage in the town. It's quite comical. He's badly beaten, as you can see. He's had a bad day, in other words. So let's see. We'll switch to Almar. We'll run to a nearby way station to see if the grog changes any in price. This is the downside, though, of trying to find a good location that you can sell your grog at for a decent price markup. Why is Almar just, like, stuck? Oh, pause. Duh. That would make sense. So I'm going to check the way station near Squin and see what's up. See if the if it's going to offer me a higher bonus on grog. So essentially what I'm doing right now is I'm just scouting out towns to see where the best grog prices are at, which is more or less what you would do. Once you figure out the town that has the best grog prices, then you'll basically just exclusively sell to that town. Now, there is a way that you can change the price markup in this game. If you want, what you can do is just keep importing the game over and over and over, and eventually it will, well, each time you import the game, it's going to change the price markup in every single city. And you can use this trick to, so there you go, 107% at this way station, which is the best that I have found so far. On this file, that is. So, essentially, if you want to make a town near you have high price markup for grog, what you can do instead is just keep importing the game until that town has a price markup that you're satisfied with. Anything above 105% is usually pretty acceptable. But it's up to you if you want to do that. It will be a bit tedious having to constantly re-import the game over and over and over and over again, but there's other things that you can do to benefit from that as well. Say you want to, you can put a character in Flatch Lagoon and you can buy an unlimited amount of ancient science books and engineering researches by continuously re-importing the game over and over. But that really is all there is to it. Let me switch back to my base squad once Almar gets back into Squin. As far as making the grog, you're going to be using the cooking skill to make grog. Let me show you here. Cooking will be the main skill that, oh, apparently my characters keep switching back and forth between multiple grog producers. And we have the United Cities arriving at our base, but that's fine. They're not too much of an issue. So that's really all there is as far as grog production goes. In my opinion, this is one of the better ones you can do for money making depending on where your base is situated. Usually that is the main factor that comes into play, is where my base is at and what towns are nearby. Because where I am at right now, I can't sell anything good to Black Scratch. If I go to Black Scratch right now, my grog I can sell there without an issue. But all of the other sake and cactus rum, I don't think they get a price markup in Black Scratch. I think they just sell for the normal price that they always go at. So producing one of them out here isn't that useful because there's no extreme price markup. Now, if say I was in the border zone, for example, and I wanted to make money, I would probably make cactus rum instead because I can sell cactus rum for a good price markup in the swamp, and then I can buy a ton of hash and sell the hash in Flats Lagoon and Morn, and then basically make a trade run out of that. However, since I'm all the way on the southeast corner of the world right now, I don't have that. I don't have a good area for trade runs. I can sell at Crab Villages, and I can sell at Black Scratch, and as you can see, I made myself hostile to the Undercities, or sorry, to the United Cities, because I don't really like them and their whole slavery cultural thing, so I can't sell to them. But if I could sell to them, they're also in the desert, which means sake would be the one that you would sell to them. However, you can't make sake around here because it can only be made in the swamps, so that's why usually if you're in like the United Cities territory right here, I would honestly recommend grog production. It's probably the most money you'll get because none of the other alcohols you can make with none of the other alcohols that have a good price markup will be able to be made there. Oh wow, we're getting 2 base raids in a row. How cute. And it seems like, okay, those characters went to bed. But anyway, that's really all there is to it. There's no point for you to watch me deal with this Reaver raid. What are they even attack? Oh, they're attacking their own slaves. Anyway, if I left anything out, forgot anything, or got anything wrong, please let me know in the comments section below. I'm always looking to correct myself and get all of the correct information out there. And of course, if this video did help you out, please leave me a like because that helps me out. Aside from that, though, I will catch you guys around in future Kenshi videos. Peace.